the choice of power units is small. The Italians preferred engines that more or less corresponded to the sporty spirit of the coupe. Each of them has its advantages and disadvantages, but none of them is ideal. In addition to everything, it is worth noting that the control electronics of the engines are rather capricious: sensors, the ignition system, and the controller itself. The base was a 2-liter gasoline GTS with a capacity of 165 horsepower. A little later, a weaker 1.8 TS was offered, developing 140 horsepower. The difference between JTS and TS is that the latter has intermediate injection and 2 spark plugs per cylinder, while JTS has direct injection and 1 spark plug per cylinder. The top version of the Alfa GT was equipped with a 3.2-liter V6 petrol output of 240 horsepower. The cult unit, created by the legendary Giuseppe Busso, was intended for sports modifications of GTA models 147 and 156. Diesel engines also got under the hood of the coupe. The main one was 1.9 JTDM with a capacity of 150 and 170 horsepower. Theoretically, the best source of traction is a 3.2-liter engine. It has a very complex design and indirect injection. However, the engine is not staggering with unforeseen breakdowns and has no characteristic weaknesses. Its only drawback is high fuel consumption, the values of which always exceed 10 L/100 kilometers, and in the city they easily reach 15 to 18 L/100 kilometers. Petrol engines with 4 cylinders are more economical. In the city, they allow you to keep within 10 to 12 L/100 kilometers, and on average they consume about 8 L/100 kilometers. Unfortunately, the dynamics are no match for the 3.2-liter unit, as is the reliability. Engines 1.8 TS and 2.0 JTS, contrary to popular belief, are very similar in design to each other. Therefore, they have similar diseases, such as excessive consumption of engine oil and problems with the variable valve timing system. You have to deal with the latter almost every 50 to 60,000 kilometers. A faulty variator creates a sound similar to the operation of a diesel engine. Repair is not a cheap operation, since not only the variator for changing the valve timing, but also a set of timing belts with a water pump are subject to replacement. Another rather serious drawback, especially regarding the 2.0 JTS, is an inefficient lubrication system. Oil change should be reduced to a minimum every 6 to 8,000 kilometers. In addition, only the oil recommended by the manufacturer, Silnia 10W60, should be used. TS and JTS engines tend to wear liners faster. In most cases, the problem occurs due to careless operation and careless maintenance, especially by the first owners. But a significant amount of carbon deposits on the blockhead, soot, is a flaw exclusively in the 2.0 JTS. Alfa Romeo GT got the 1.9 JDM turbo diesel for the second generation. Thanks to the improved injection system, it has high power and low fuel consumption. The base 150 horsepower version generates 305 Nm of torque, while the 170 horsepower version generates 330 Nm. The second provides acceleration to 100 km/h at the level of 8.2 seconds. As for fuel consumption, the diesel Alfa consumes about 8 to 9 L/100 km in the city, and on average 6 to 7 liters. Not bad, but not everyone likes the specifics of such an engine. For those who don't have enough factory settings, they can easily squeeze extra horsepower out of the JTDM. The safe limit lies at the level of 190 to 200 horsepower. However, you will have to reckon with the accelerated wear of elements such as nozzles, a turbocharger and a dual-mass flywheel. Of course, JDM engines are not without flaws. One of the most common is the failure of the intake manifold flaps. Fortunately, it does not come to tragedy. So while JD engines are some of the best common rail diesel engines out there today, there's no avoiding unexpected costs. In addition to motors, owners have to deal with a short-lived suspension. The front is 2 levers per wheel. It should be noted that the service life of the front levers of diesel modifications is much less. Electricity is another weakness. Suffer electronic control units, power windows, central locking and climate control panel. Salon Alfa Romeo GT wears out pretty quickly, as it is made of medium quality materials. But more of a concern with age is the noise in the area of the side windows of doors devoid of frames. The seal speed, racing, transmission is not universally loved. A robotic manual gearbox with an electric clutch. Neither its performance nor the durability of the control electronics is to be commended. Fortunately, corrosion is a foreign phenomenon to the beautiful body of the Alfa Romeo GT. All spare parts are relatively cheap and easily available in online stores. However, the content will be costly. Much depends on the owner himself, operating conditions and the quality of service. This car is not for those who do not like to visit car services. However, there are a lot of those who have driven tens of thousands of kilometers and were satisfied.